Leo, good afternoon. Gabriel Rice, Placar Magazine. You scored on a free kick. On the eve of the call-up, I wanted you to talk a little about the importance of having a player who knows how to take free kicks, and also ask if you've been practicing free kicks here with the national team. And we even have Maestro Junior here, who is also a great teacher. Who have you always looked up to as an inspiration?
Well, we have lots and lots of examples in Brazil and abroad of players who are masters when it comes to taking free kicks. From Junior, Ronaldinho, Zico to Messi. You could make a list that would be very long. But I also learned a great deal with Davi Luiz at the club. He helped me a lot in this process of taking free kicks. After all, I wasn't a free kick taker, so I felt a bit shy, especially because I was a defender. But he was one of the guys who helped me in that aspect as well. And he said that I had to practice because I had a certain accuracy and could help the team. So that's what I did. And I try to do it whenever I can. I try to help, I try to train. And I still have to train a lot more so that I can contribute in some way. Leo here.
I'm arriving here at the Brazilian national team's training session. This team isn't convincing, it's tough. They even lost Wesley, right? For me, he was one of the best on the field, alongside Luis Henrique. Man, I just got here and it's unbelievable what happened with Ecuador's national team. Ah, it's unbelievable what Gonçalo Plata said. Trying to shift the blame to Flamengo. Shifting the blame to the press. Shifting the blame to everyone around, to the fans. He's shifting the blame to everything related to Flamengo. It's unbelievable. I'm going to show you Gonçalo Plata's statement here. After the game in Ecuador, where he accidentally made an assist, right? He controlled the ball, right? And then the striker scored the goal, but if it were him, maybe he would have even missed that goal, right? And then we had the Gonçalo Plata talking about what's happening with the Ecuador national team and at Flamengo, right? And then, man, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what Plata said. Check this out. Follow along here. Check this out. He's making it clear, right? Yeah, man, what? I'll tell you guys, after this statement here, after he unfollowed Flamengo, after being called out by Angelim, a Flamengo legend, with the whole fan base upset instead of just staying quiet, right? He deleted several photos in the Flamengo jersey, but instead of staying quiet, he provokes even more. Check this out.
Thank God I have the opportunity to be here, to wear the national team jersey. For me, it will always be an honor, as I always say, to be here with the guys. Well, it makes me forget about everything that's happening outside this environment, back with my team. So in that sense, I'm very happy.
So it makes me forget about the things that are happening around me, you know? He's trying to say that playing for the Ecuador national team makes him forget about everything that's happening at his club, in his environment. In other words, it's everyone's fault. He's the one who's right. The news that comes out saying he brings his wife to the training camp, the coach saying that he can't integrate and that anyone who isn't committed won't play. Everyone's wrong, right? Everyone's wrong. Man, then someone leaks screenshots and everyone gets upset. Even the squad itself, who used to joke around and saw it as just a running joke. Showing up late to practice, they don't see it the same way anymore. So, man, it's the kind of situation I'm talking about. It's really tough, right? Really tough. I don't think Gonçalo Plata has any chance of staying at Flamengo after everything that's happened. The transfer window is closed, and Flamengo didn't negotiate with Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro wanted a loan, but Flamengo refused and asked for Kaique Bruno. Cruzeiro didn't want to, right? They even joked in a playful tone about wanting Caio Jorge. Of course, Cruzeiro wouldn't trade Caio Jorge for Plata, but that's it, guys. It's a situation that's going to be difficult. It's hard to get around. And Flamengo is waiting for the cup, right? Maybe with these accidental assists, Flamengo might be able to move him. Scoring goals is tough, but accidental assists might help Plata get signed. After the cup, Flamengo recoups its investment.
Look at Mango's goalkeeper, Leo Nanete, Flamengo's goalkeeper, the one we brought in. And there are also European clubs interested in signing him. He came here to help with the national team's training, called up by Ancelotti. There he is, that's Plata.
World Cup players, there's Danilo. How are you? Everything okay? Good morning, Danilo. Not talking to me?
Of course it's me, Dumelo. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
It's Plata, they're listening.
Ancelotti and the players are there watching.
He's passing it to them. Thanks.
We just did a light warm-up there.
Ready for the conversation.
Thank you. Obviously.
Guys, look, there's something happening here that's cool for us to talk about, okay? What looks like a playing out from the back drill, one of the big concerns for the Brazilian national team.
The national team really needs to get the defensive sector working together.
He set up a drill here, right, for build-up play. You see that, right? Build up under pressure, it seems, right? He's watching everything from here, trying to fix the build-up issue, okay?
That's what I wanted to postpone.
He talked to the players. He was aiming to prepare. By this training here. And they're playing out from the back. And? Oh. He's specifically training pressing against the build-up, okay? This is going to be a situation that Brazil will need to train a lot.
Good afternoon, Leo. Chico Moedas, Kasi TV. Man, about the play that led to Mbappe's goal, I wanted you to share your perspective from out there on the field, right? Casemiro loses the ball. You have a second, I don't even know if it's a full second to react. I wanted to understand your decision-making there. If you understand that moment on the field.
In the play that led to the goal, it was a very quick moment, like you said, and facing one of the greatest players of today, also one of the fastest players. And it's a very quick moment there as well. And I believe that the level the French players are at right now is very high. You could sense that on the field at times. And there, it's a matter of details. I think we could have done better, maybe had better body positioning, or stayed a bit more compact. But unfortunately, that play happened. And we know that any little opening we give the forwards, they're deadly. And that's how it was. Now it's time to fix it. Fix the small mistake that led to France's goal. So we have to fix it. Because there's still a lot ahead of us.
Hi, Leo. Good afternoon. Over here. How are you? Carlos Gil, Globo Esporte TV. Leo, when the call-up came out with Magalhães and Marquinhos, naturally, they're two players who have been playing. They're starters. I imagine in your mind, I'm going there, I'm going to show what I can do. But clearly, there's already a set defense there, and I want to show what I can do. Whether in training or with the circumstances, they led you to become a starter and play 90 minutes. It looks like Marquinhos can return. What are your expectations for getting more playing time and becoming a starter again? Basically, you enjoyed it and want more. Knowing it's your last chance to prove yourself on the field for the national team since you'll still play for Flamengo, but for the national team before the final call-up for the World Cup, and you're entering the final stretch to fight for a spot. Thank you.
Well, since I came here, I already knew about the possibility of getting some minutes. So it wasn't a surprise for me. I had in mind that I could play in one of the two games. It happened in the first one. And, well, I think that regardless of who is on the field there, Marquinhos, Magalhães, Bremer, Ibaez, Danilo, I think everyone is doing their best and ready to do their best for the national team, for the people. And for sure, I always want to be playing. I always want to do my best for this jersey, doing my best for my teammates. It wasn't the dream debut, no, but I believe that I'm calm and I'll keep working so that I can get more minutes.
Yes, Wellington Campos, I'm here in front of you from Radio Itatiaia. You're very straightforward. Your interviews are great. And Ancelotti has already told him what this friendly was for. And for you and for your teammates, what did you say? What did you analyze? It's just that sometimes we focus too much on the defeat, but on the field, as you said, and it's true, it was a French team already prepared for the World Cup. What stage are we at?
Well, then, we're one friendly match away from the World Cup. In terms of ranking, which will definitely be decided by our coach. But yeah, I believe that there on the field, I had a very different feeling from Brazil's other matches. The intensity, the level of chemistry of one of the best, if not the best, national teams in the world. So that's what I could notice. A very fast, very dynamic game, and with a lot of chemistry from the. Thank you.
Luis Fabiani from Radio Bandeirantes is on your right. Good afternoon. About the specific moments of the game, you got a yellow card before the 20th minute of the first half. I wanted to know if that card limited you as you tried to stop France's attack. Regarding your choice to take that risky free kick at the end, it sparked a lot of discussion in Brazil. We know you sometimes do that for Flamengo, but where did the initiative come from to take responsibility at that moment? Thank you.
Well, it's true that I was there on both plays that led to France's goals. I'm a defender. I have to be there to defend. But the card doesn't affect my game. I keep playing the same way. Thank you. Right at the beginning of the second half, they have a player sent off. So we have more of the ball. We have more. They have less of the ball. And that makes us play more offensively from midfield forward. But I think that, man, the second half was really like that. In the first half, it's true that we played in a mid-block there, and we didn't really neutralize some plays. But I think for a debut, like, it was a good first step. It helped to get rid of that first game anxiety.
Pereira.
Wow. In January, I wrote an article for the newspaper. I spoke on television, and I recorded a video saying that this is his time. A lot of people
I'm out of my mind.
of the
Things. And now you have come, and I have the pleasure of seeing you in the stands next to our dear Fabio, bringing joy to Paraná. Certainly, the people of Paraná are proud of your achievements as it brings true happiness. Trieste, Atlético, Guaratinga, and Náutico, how was this journey of our Leo Pereira to reach the Brazilian national team?
Well, I'm happy to represent not only Brazil, but also the state of Paraná and Curitiba, which is my hometown. It's an important point, a turning point. Suddenly, in my football journey, there was Trieste, a youth club from Curitiba, for those who don't know, and where it gave me, right? Suddenly, we talk a lot about the opportunity to represent Brazil. Flamengo, anyway. These are things that happened during my career, but Trieste was the team that developed me, that made, I think, a difference in my teenage years that I will be grateful for the rest of my life. Yeah, Yeah, I get emotional talking about it. It's something that few people know, but it was a difficult time for me and my family. Back then, I was about 12 or 13 years old. Yeah, I was from Curitiba, and Trieste doesn't provide accommodation. Players who are born in Curitiba, so yeah. Well, I had my house at that time, and anyway, I'll try to sum it up. It's a really long story, but my mother's house caught fire at that time, and Trieste, it opened its doors to me. Yeah, he takes in a player from Curitiba who wasn't supposed to be living there at that time. So and it was a complicated time. Yeah, I have two sisters who are they're special, and yeah, it was a very difficult time. I had to care for them and balance that with training. So from a young age, I carried that responsibility as one of the older brothers in my family. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for Trieste. Atlético Paranaense. Guaratinga is Náutico, Orlando City as well. I had a brief stint, but yeah, I just wanted to, yeah, talk about this moment, which was an important moment in my life, and I will always be grateful to Trieste.
Here, Eduardo Semblano from the Freakley and Lance channel. First, congratulations on your story. It was nice to hear that. Organizing a player, right, who is often seen just as a machine, and I get it right all the time. Nice story. Congratulations. You're used to playing on a team that has the ball in 95% of its games and dictates play in 95% of them. The South American level is often debated in world football. You just faced a few days ago maybe the most powerful national team attack in the world. Even though Mbappe wasn't at 100%, he started the match. What can you say about the difference in facing them? What changes for you when you don't have the ball the whole game and are attacked by a world-class opponent? Take care, good luck, have a good game.
Thanks, thank you. Well, you summed it up well. It's one of the most lethal and effective attacks in the world. Well, the way I play at Flamengo and here is a little different, but in the end, I'm a center back and I'm always ready to defend all the time, which is something without the ball. I have to be ready with mastery then. Defending and not playing with the ball is also a part of the game that we enjoy. I had games for Flamengo that were some of the best games in the world, wearing the Flamengo jersey without the ball, and we had the privilege de sempre estar to mark, to tackle, and I think even in the game against Croatia, we were less. Now playing for the national team, it's a great privilege to be out there on the field, and to have these challenges, which I think are important. I think I'm at the beginning of my journey with the Brazilian national team, and I want to grow, keep improving, and make the most of every opportunity, every conversation here on the field, here with the national team, whether it's with the staff, with Chalote, or with the players.
Yeah, here. Mimi Nakamura TV do Japão and Easy News. When you put on the national team's jersey for the game, or when you had that pep talk in the locker room, or when you are singing the Brazilian national anthem, what image went through your mind? And did you make it?
Well, it's a happiness that can't be contained. I can hardly contain my happiness. I managed to sing the anthem. It was a moment I really wanted, I really wished for. As I've always said, every Brazilian athlete's dream is to represent our people, our country. I think that with the age and mindset I have today, I'm able to enjoy, visualize, and make the most of every moment as if it were unique, and it really is unique. And so I was really happy with every moment in the locker room, putting on the warm-up shirt. My arrival here, also having the first interactions with the players and the coaching staff. So I'm trying to make the most of every moment here because this is just too valuable. Soon.
I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. In the year 2025, did you see all your teammates there, Flamengo's defenders? So Danilo, Alexandro, Leo Ortiz, Sandro. Time went by, you had an amazing year in 2025, you won a lot of championships. And in 2026, you at a very high level, and finally your chance comes. Discuss how you handled this process, how you stayed motivated while pursuing a spot on the Brazilian national team and kept chasing your opportunities to be here and this chance that came with so little time left before the World Cup.
Well, it's always been a privilege, an honor to be with players from the Brazilian national team and from other national teams at Flamengo. And I've always been very curious and always asked a lot about what it was like to be here, what the daily life was like. And man, it's just fantastic. Just fantastic. You're here, you're enjoying yourself and talking with multi-champions, with a coach who's been champion so many times. So like I said, I try to make the most of this moment and grow. I think I still have a lot to achieve and go after. So I think that's my goal.
Leo, this is Thomas Savoya, ex-Sportes. You're one of the top defenders in Brazil and have already been called up to the under-17 and under-20 national teams. Is this truly your first opportunity? A seleção principal. Você cara que you've won many titles, right? You've had a lot of achievements recently. Where would you rank being called up to the national team now among your accomplishments? You mentioned your daily routine, but how would you rate it? How highly would you rank this achievement? Thank you and good luck in the game.
Well, it's immeasurable. For sure, the last game was one of the most important games of my career, if not the most important. And we talked before the game started, before the friendly, right? We said it would be a game, a final for us. And for me, it was no different. I think I also considered it one of the most important games of my career because I knew the difficulty, the responsibility that it was to play that game. But on the other hand, I also had a clear mind knowing that I had to do what brought me here, what led me to wear this jersey. So that's what I tried to do and enjoy during that game. And for sure, it was one of the most important games of my career.
How are you, Leo? Felipe Killing here from TV Bandeirantes. Less than 3 minutes. At this stage, Brazil faced a prepared France team while Brazil was still developing and missing several players.
A lot of new faces, but taking all that into consideration, do you think Brazil has taken on a different significance? This game carries a lot of weight for the national team. We're going to treat every game like a final. Like I said in the previous answer, there are no friendly matches for us to show. We know that it could be an opportunity, maybe even for a final World Cup roster. So we go in with the same responsibility, the same commitment that we always have. We've shown that in the last games, and we're going to be very strong so we can get this win, which will be very important for what's ahead.
Here in the back, in the middle here, Monique Daniello, TNT Sports. We know that in a defense with so many absences, for someone who's just arriving like you, it might even be harder to fit in than in a defense that's already working. You played with Wesley as right back in the first game, who is someone you already knew, and today we saw at least Ancelotti at the beginning of his work there using Danilo as right back. How much does it help you in this moment as you're arriving and the whole defense is changed to have these guys who have already worked with you and with whom you already have some tactical understanding?
Well, it's important to have Danilo close, whether on or off the field. He's a guy who's always having very interesting conversations, always focused on what's best for the group. So I don't know what the back four will be or who's going to play, but it's important to have a player of that caliber always by our side, helping and showing us paths we can take that might work out. So we try to make the most of it because he's a guy who's won many championships, a very experienced guy. And just like several players on the defensive line, he also has experience. And I think we also have this advantage that even though it's the first time the line played together, it's the first time we're training together. Also, some players, we have this ability to adapt as quickly as possible and do what Ancelotti asks. Last one.
Hi, Leo. How are you? Isabel Costa. I wanted you to talk about how these days have been for you here with the national team, with the players, besides the ones you already know. And we even saw that CBF posted a video of you with Luis Henrique. What's it been like with them and with Ancelotti too, who's won so much as a coach? And have you already gone through the rookie initiation, actually, not just you, right, but several, because there are several of you, right?
No, I haven't gone through the rookie initiation yet. I believe it will be today. I want to tell you guys, we have a good little group of rookies there. I think there are, about 5 or 6. So we're trying to help each other out. When someone tells a joke, everyone laughs. If someone sings a song, we clap our hands too. Come on, everyone together. That's it. Bye-bye. I'm also trying to learn as much as I can from these fantastic players we have, like Vini, Rafinha, Casemiro, among others, who have won a lot. And I'm also trying to learn as much as I can from Ancelotti's staff because he's different. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, everyone. In a moment, Igor Thiago.